Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we are about to get started. Let me readjust my headset. Got a little bit of a lag today, too. Let me do this here. I'm having a little trouble with my audio. This is really weird. All right, I'm having a little trouble with a little lag here. Just give me one moment. Something's going on with the phone here. Is this a little hot? Just give me one moment here. Let's try to make a connection again. Should switch over. Do apologize about this. Let's do this here. Hold on for one moment. Still not connecting. Headset. That's why you always have to have a cord device instead of using these wireless. Because the Bluetooths are not 100% reliable. I say they're about probably 80%, 90% reliable. But I always roll with backup just in case. That should be a lot better. That way I don't hold the show up. All right, there we go. Yeah, that should be better. Yeah, I'll just run it from there. Go ahead and unplug this. Yep, because, these Bluetooths, like I said before, and I got plenty of these Bluetooth headsets lying around, but they are not reliable, not for doing. If I was doing the show professionally, I'll have other types of devices. When I'm at home, my audio is fire. But I appreciate you coming into the show, and we're going to have a good conversation. We're going to have a good show today. The show today is going to be in regards to, we're going to be talking about the young black men that have voted for Trump. We're going to be talking about the young MAGA supporters today. And I can't wait to get started. We're going to be talking about that. This is my rebuttal to some of the pushback that we've been receiving in the so-called black community. And it's going to be a little bit of a roasting, too. I'm going to give you guys like a heads up. We're going to be talking about that. So, therefore, you see my thumbnail. You already know what it's up. But let's go ahead and talk about the good stuff first. So, once again, I want to congratulate the young black brothers and sisters for voting for Trump. Yay, voted for Trump. I salute you guys. You guys done your due diligence. You educated yourself. You didn't allow the old black Negroes to deter you, shame you into voting for the Democratic Party. Congratulations again for the young black men and women. You guys are truly a treasure in things. You're voting for the party of your ancestors, which is the Republican Party. So give a shout out again. I salute the young black men and women once again in things. So they understand that the Republican Party is the party of our ancestors. Excuse me. So I congratulate you guys, and we're gonna really go into it on this live and things. So yeah, so I salute. Let's go ahead and get started. So the young black men that have voted and women have voted for the Republican Party under the MAGA for Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump, because you saw with Donald J. Trump, it is what it is. We know what we were voting for, right? In things, because we were all on board with Trump's mandates in his policies to close the border. And not only just close the border, but we were going to remove a lot of the illegals out of the country. Taking back America. No longer are we going to be subjected to These old, excuse me, these old false promises coming from the Democratic Party. And also, I'm going to say it again, the Democratic Party is not the party of our ancestors. The Republican Party is the party of our black ancestors. I'm going to say it again. The Republican Party is the party of our ancestors, not the Democrats, not the Democratic Party. So you have lost by thinking that you can shame us into voting for being a Democrat. I never voted for a Democrat, nor will I ever vote for a Democrat. Never. Because this is not the party of our ancestors. It's the party of oppression and racism and slavery, as well as the Ku Klux Klan. All you have to do is look it up yourself. Many of these bootlicking, old sellout Sambos, right? Sambos and coons that continue to tell black people in the gaslight and try to shame them into voting for the Democrats. Those days, those slave days are over. Those slave narratives are over. Those are not going to work. The blacks that are voting for the Republican Party under Trump, as I said before, because we are looking to take the country back to make it better for each and every one of us. Not just a set few, but each and every one of us. And I want to say a shout out again to the young blacks and things like that for doing this. You guys really have done your thing, by educating yourselves and being educated. So let's go ahead and give you a round of applause again. Like I said before, yeah. If I was in my home studio, you guys would get a real a real applause. So first and foremost, I find that the young black males and the black men and women to be very, very articulate as well as smart because they have access to information now. They have access to the information. They are smart, as I said before, and we're gonna go down through there. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. You guys are gonna love this one. I'm also gonna be, excuse me, doing some roasting as well. So if you allow me and things, but I'm gonna go with the pleasantries first. So this is a applause to the young black people, like the young black males, black men and women that have taken the initiative, right, of voting for Donald Trump. If you're not a Trump supporter, you probably don't want to be in here. That's fine. Or if you want to, you can come in here. But let me tell you why a lot of young black people voted for Trump. Because when they did their research, and not only that Trump have helped out a lot of people, and then Trump is also colorblind when it comes down to helping people. These are the first things why a lot of us voted for Trump. Also, Trump said, as he did before in his first presidency, seal the border and stop the illegal migration, invasion. And this is the first thing that Trump said that he was going to do. So about sealing that border. I'm going to give you all the reasons as to why we voted for Trump. Number two, to carry out the largest deportation operation in U.S. history. This is number two. This is the mandate. This is what Trump said he was going to do, and this is why we voted for him. Number three, to end inflation, make America affordable again. This is a president that knows how to get it done. He done it before when we were down to about 1%. Neither of you on the Democratic side have done that. You are a party of a racist and a party of being an anti-American, and you are a party of failure. And anybody that vote for them is going to be a party of failure, party of anti-American, and party of racist. A racist anti-American agenda, as opposed to what we have going on, So if you allow me, let me go ahead and go further down the list. Make America the dominant energy producer of the world by far. This is the third number four. I'm sorry, that's number four. Number five, stop the outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. And this is another thing that Trump said that what he was going to do, right? And I'm on board with that. These are sound, make sense, common sense policies, right? Number six, large cuts for workers and no tax on tips. This is really, Trump coined this phrase, but Kamala tried to steal it for her own. And she's just a felon policy, bunch of racist, anti-American. They don't have a chance, you know. Number seven, defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. I love it. And our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech and freedom of religion and the right to keep and bear arms. These are the things that make America America. Number six, the prevention of World War III, restore peace in Europe and the Middle East, and build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country, made in the US of A. This is number eight. Number nine, end the weaponization of the government against the American people. And this is another thing. Our government has been corrupt from the flow up, from the CIA, FBI, DEA, you name the alphabet boys, FDA, you name them. They all have been weaponized against the American people. They spy on American people. They have waged war on American people, all for control, right? All for dominance, right? And Trump is ending the weaponization of us as American people. Number 10, to stop the migrant crime, which I still call illegal criminals because they should have never been here in the first place. Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Demolish the foreign drug cartel. Crush the gang violence and lock up all violent offenders. Rebuild our cities. This is number 11. Rebuild our cities, including Washington D.C., right? Making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Number 12, strengthening and modernizing our military, making it without question the strongest and the most powerful in the world, right? Number 13, keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. Number 14, fight for and protect Social Security, Medicare with no cuts, including no changes, to the retirement age. Number 15, cancel the electric vehicle mandate, cut the costly and burdensome regulations. Number 16, cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideologies, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto our children. Number 17, keep men out of women's sports. Number 18, deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. Number 19, secure our elections, including the same day voting, voter identification, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship. Number 20, unite our country by bringing it to a new and record levels of success. This is exactly Project 47, what I just read you. All 20 of Trump's policies here, black and white. Now, these are the reasons why the young blacks as well that have voted for Donald Trump, because they believe that Trump can make it safe again, make us prosperous again, make us wealthy again, make us feel what freedom, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness again. No Democrat has done that. We've been under 16 years of the Democratic rule. And you know what we end up getting? Nothing but bullshit, side talk, double talk. And really what makes it really bad too, not only not only that you have wicked liberal or white elites that have convinced blue collar poor people that rich conservative white people was the problem. They never looked to think that could it also be that these rich elite liberals that happen to be Democrat, because like I said before, these are the people that was responsible for slavery, responsible for the KKK, responsible for night riders. They're responsible for Jim Crow segregation, redlining. All these are racist democratic policies. We cannot ignore, we cannot hide that. That is the fact, and I'm going to stay on that, right? These are the policies that they did. The policy that the young black men understand, right, is the policy of our ancestors, which is the party of our ancestors, is the Republican Party. And that's exactly what it is. The Republican Party is the ancestors, it's the party of our ancestors. This is what our ancestors voted for. And we know with the history of the Republican Party, they were the ones to stop the spread of slavery in the West. In the Reconstruction period where it was birthed, blacks and another group, I think it's the Whig group, these two were the groups that got together and created the Republican Party, right? If you look at the Reconstruction period between 1863 to 1877, this is what happened, right? This group, the party of our ancestors, that's why. This is why we're winning. This is why we're winning, ladies and gentlemen. We are winning. We are going to new heights, as I said before. So I want to congratulate the young black men, because most of the young black men that voted MAGA. So for you MAGA supporters that are young black men, thumbs up to you guys. I really appreciate you guys once again, and as well as the young black women and things. Hopefully we can get those numbers up next time, because they did the research and they looked in a history, their family history, and saw that the party of our ancestors was the Republican Party. The party of our ancestors was the Republican Party. It's not the Democratic Party. Our party for black folks is our party of the Republican Party. If you ever knew the history of that, this is absolutely factually true. So that's why I'm gonna make a video to this, because I'm really gonna be going in. But right now, I'm doing a celebration, and once again, for the young black men and women, happy for you guys. You guys have really did your thing. Now that I have gotten that out the way, now I got to go to the unpleasantries for a minute, because I have to do some roasting. And what I'm about to say is not going to be something. I want to give a disclaimer. I'm going to be saying some things that for people that get triggered and easily offended, you may not want to listen to what I have to say right now. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. That's about all I can say. So let's go ahead and go down to the unpleasantries. I am sick and tired of old sellout Negroes, right? These old head Negroes. They are the ones that are responsible, right? They are the ones that voted right around in the 60s, because this is an issue that's been going on damn near for almost 70 years, dealing with this nonsense. They vote Democrat, nothing but Democrat, and they voted against their best interests and voted for their own destruction. Old black Negroes are some of the worst people to listen to. And I'm gonna tell you, it used to be the time when you listen to your old people for wisdom. But if the wisdom is not coming off the old heads anymore, then you have to do your due diligence, and you have to be around people that have the wisdom. And a lot of these old head Negroes don't have the wisdom at all, because if they did, they would have continued. If they knew that the party of their ancestors was the Republican Party, they would have stayed on that ticket. But no, they jumped on the other ticket. They jumped on it. You know why they jumped on the Democratic Party? Let's go ahead and talk about it, right? They jumped on that ticket because of what we call what is it? The actual civil rights, right? The civil rights movement, right, wasn't even the real civil rights. It's been revamped and watered down. They have so many ethnic groups and other people inclusion on that, that it defeated the movement. And they still over here voting Democrat. Then they have another one which is called the Welfare Act of 1965. That was implemented, and that was the destruction of the black community right there. These old Negroes, these old sellout old Negroes, right? They are the ones, right, that are responsible, right? Because they have effed up 3 generations with this nonsense. Yeah, you think that you could get up here and shame me because I don't vote Democrat? I never voted Democrat. Voting for Democrat is like going to hell. Why in the hell would I vote Democrat? All your Democratic leaders are full of shit. All of them. Because if they weren't, then you would have a community. You would be learning accountability and responsibility, which is the number one thing that a lot of blacks don't teach each other. They want to blame it, crime, violence, and drugs. All that come from the lack of accountability and responsibility. Black population jail lockup over 50%, well over 50%. They take no accountability. Grown ass black, old crusty ass black men running around here, right? Not taking accountability and responsibility. They sound like a little woman, sound like a victim, right? Instead of looking at it for what it really is. Accountability and responsibility. And like I said I'm not holding this back because I'm giving pushback for these old coons and sellouts in our so-called black community that have pushed the narrative about voting Democrat. Well, I'm about to give you a roasting. So if you don't like it, you probably want to go on another channel right now because it's about to get ugly. And I'm about to do some roasting and cooking. So let me cook. So I'm going to be doing some cooking. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be giving more pushback. And this is going to be for these B1s and all the rest of them, right? These foundationals claim to be so-called blacks, pro-blacks. They're all full of shit, right? They all voted Democratic. They don't even know. They're so stupid that they don't even realize the party of their ancestors was the Republican Party. This is how stupid they are. You know why they will never mention that? Because they're afraid. They're afraid of being called out. They're afraid of being called out by their own goddamn people. That's why. So this is why. Let me cook, because I'm going to get to cooking now, right? So about to go ahead and kindle up and get the grill pit going because they need to have a good barbecue. And these are my own stupid people that I got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And nothing worse than an old black Negro, right? These old black, you notice when you listen to old black men, they sound like they're just come straight out of slavery. They even talk like they've been on the 1800 plantation picking cotton. No, they're sweating and picking cotton, boy. They sound just like they got off the goddamn slave plantation, don't they? You know, this is how crazy it is, right? These old black niggas, you know what they left us? Nothing but debt and poverty. Debt and poverty, these old black, old head Negroes, right? This is what they remind me of Django. What's that one with, what's that guy's name that Samuel Jackson played? That's what they remind me of. These old black, old head Negroes, right? Sound like they just come off of the slave plantation picking cotton. You know what they always say? Well, in my time, boy, you know I was around when you wasn't allowed to. That's how they sound, man. It's ridiculous. I said, you know, this 2025. Why do you sound like you in the 1800s? You know damn well you didn't live that far back, but that's how they sound, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. They sound like they just got off the slave plantation, picking cotton. That's what they sound like, you know what I'm saying? This is like ridiculous, man. It's really sad. But this is the thing, though. They really said, well, yeah, Donald Trump is a racist. You want to make sure that you don't vote for him now, boy. You got to go down there and vote. You vote for Joe Biden. Joe Biden loves black people. He does not. Joe Biden is the number one racist. Anytime that his best friend, Robert Byrd, the known high Klansman, this guy is a politician, and he was a Democrat. This is the whole thing about it. They won't tell that truth. So that's why I got to start getting to cooking. And that's why I'm telling you guys, man. I'm telling you guys for people in general. See, in our problem, in our communities, ladies and gentlemen, that you non-blacks, the biggest problem that we have to deal with is these old coward-ass, old-head Negroes that rather lie to the youth, telling them how they should vote Democrat, where the Democrat had done nothing but a history of racist, a history of bigotry, a history of being anti-American, and they keep the division between black and white. They keep it up. Identity politics, right? They have done all this stuff and failed. No damn way in the world that I want to have nothing to do with being a Democrat. I am MAGA true and true, and that won't change. And that's why I supported Trump. I already went over his policies already. I just did that earlier. These were the reasons why we voted for him. We wanted that border to be secure, mass deportation, right? Then the largest deportation in U.S. history. This is what we were wanting. This is what we voted for, right? Drill, baby, drill, and all the rest of the stuff. This were mandates that majority of the Americans in this country wanted. And all these old head black racist blacks, this is why Trump already signed off. There is no more critical race theory that will be taught in the schools. Whites people especially, hear me and hear me well. You should be celebrating right now. Therefore, you don't have to worry about your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren coming home telling you that daddy was a racist. Daddy was this and that. You ain't got to worry about that stuff no more, right? So you should be happy about that. No more critical race theory, right? It will not be funded. It will not be taught. What's going to be taught in the schools is that good old-fashioned U.S. American history. That's what should be taught. Not teaching people that white people is a reason of all our sins. You know what I'm saying? So you should be happy about that. And you should be afraid to be white again. Be happy, be white again. I'm not going to be the one telling you that you can't be white. So other than that, if everybody else have a right to be black, you have a right to be white, okay? So now that I have said that, let me go ahead and continue with the cooking. So here's the thing about it. These pro-blacks, these so-called pro-blacks, these so-called foundational blacks, these B1s, right? These ADOS and all the rest of them, right? They don't have no Pan-Africanness, right? They have no answer in their own communities. Their communities are riddled with violence, crime, drugs, right? Underserved communities, right? Also disenfranchisement, right? This is what's going on. They never have learned how to fix their own problems. The only thing they know how to do is talk shit about white people. Say how micro racism, right? These type of they love putting different names and terms on racism, right? They go through their whole life hating white folks, right? Never building in their own community, never do anything. You even got black pro athletes. I know what a lot of you whites are thinking right now, right? Well, don't they got a Michael Jordan and all these other people? Yeah, but here's the thing. We already know it's an individual thing, especially when you make that kind of money. It's all individualism. But a lot of blacks don't understand that. They think it's like inclusion. You start by building your stuff up first. It's an individual thing. That's exactly what it is. Hello, Angelica Army. Waving back to you. How you doing? How are you doing? I'm just doing some cooking, Angelica. I think you were on here before. I do remember. Yep. Name looks familiar. I try to remember a lot of people. Yeah, that's good. Yep. I'm just doing some cooking though. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. And I know it may not be popular, but I don't do stuff for popular views. I do stuff that's what's necessary, and I try to educate people at the same time. You know? Okay, thank you so much. Oh yeah, because it needs to be said though, Angelica. It needs to be said and things. I grew up in the so-called black community for a long time. And the problem is simply this though, you know. We have too many good black folks that have been subjected to bad advice, bad wisdom, and a whole bunch of cowardice as well, especially with these old head Negroes, you know. So I'm sorry, but this is the way I got to be able to express it because I am cooking at the same time. Now, I don't mean no offense in general, but this is the way that I can articulate to kind of hit the sting on them, giving them back their own medicine. I'm talking about these so-called black folks that's claiming that they're the lovers of people, always spitting out racism all the time, knowing how to. That's all they do is know how to look for racism. They don't build in their own community and things like that. But starting with those old head black Negroes, right? The ones that I can't stand. Those are the racist ones, by the way. Sound like they just got off the slave plantation, right? Well, you don't want to be messing with the white man because you can't get next. They sound like they just got off the 1800s. That's what I could never understand. It's like, why do you sound like that? You know what I'm saying? Why do you talk like that? I don't even talk like that. They haven't even lived in the 1800s. They old as shit, but they haven't even lived in the 1800s to be sounding like that, you know? It's like, are you serious? So yeah, so I'm going to give it to them today. They're going to get barbecued and roasted, right? And things. We all have opportunity today. And another thing is that the benefits, and before I get to roasting, let me go back again and try to recap again. This is a shout out to the young black people, right? The ones that voted MAGA. They voted for change. They saw something in Trump, right? And I appreciate the like, by the way, too. Thank you so much. They saw something great in Trump because we are all Americans. My channel never been about division. By the way, if some of you that have been rocking with me for a while, I'd say it ain't never been about no black and white. This is like we all are Americans. We all are the same. In fact, I never talk about racism one time. Oh yeah, what? I never have done that because right now we have equal opportunity for everyone. It's only for these Negroes that like to grift, that want money and things like that. And that's all it is a grifting party. Because the longer they can grift and they use the black insecurity against them to try to make some type of money. A lot of their black leaders have failed them. They don't realize it. But we got a lot of failure in the so-called black community. No wonder they want to talk about racism all the time because they never done nothing on their own. They can't even get past being afraid of the white man and doing something for themselves. They sit back and use that as an excuse. That's why I got a barbecue on Angelica. I'm over here doing my job, and I said this is going to be a pig roast. So I'm gonna be roasting them from their old heads that have taught this nonsense. Instead of doing the right thing, they could have had a family legacy and inheritance to pass on their children. No, they did not do that. They failed. They are not strong, stand-up older black men. They're a bunch of old cowards, and they failed. That's why we don't have. That's why we're in a situation right now. It's not racism. It's the old Negroes, those old sellout Negroes that have sold out the so-called black community by telling us, yeah, how the Democrats are going to be so much better for our community, which is a bunch of bullshit. Excuse my French, but it is. It's been a lie ever since. Do you know that our ancestry, the black ancestry, is it's the Republican Party? That was the party of our ancestors. Instead of telling the truth, and that's why you have these people that don't respect and things like that because they should have been telling that truth. But they didn't want to tell that truth. You know why? Because they were cowardice and they were scared of being called out. A lot of black men, another thing with a lot of black men, older black men, those old heads especially, they are cowards when it comes down to black women. They kowtow and they bow down to black women, older black men. So that's why it was another hard thing to follow a lot of them because I saw the cowardice in them. They're nothing but a bunch of old cowards for the most part of it, and left bad advice. Well, sir, you got to vote Democrat. They sound like they just got off the slave plantation picking cotton. That's how bad it is, right? They don't give any type of real information, right? All they know is being a Democrat, and then they talk about white people at the same time, and then they beg for money. I'm still waiting on my reparations check. That's how they sound. This is the retarded. This is a bunch of retarded, hypocrite nonsense and BS. This is all this is. Instead of coming down to it for real and talking about it for real, and then they get these YouTube channels bashing white folks. There's no place in the world that you could be able to do this. They would have their ass 100 miles and running because ain't nobody know that a lot of these old head black men are cowardice anyway. Because if they had that wear and thaw and had that toughness, they would have fixed their communities a long time ago. Those are the ones that scared of the thugs. Those are the ones that produce the thugs. The black single black women are the ones that produce the thugs in the first place. You know, wasn't where are these B1s? Where are these so-called vanguards of the black community? We don't have any. Let's go and tell the truth. We don't have any. Thank you, Angelica. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any. I didn't grow up with black excellence. There's a few little points that I can point, but for the majority part of it, I don't see it. And I'm only speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, 1000 RR, man? Long time no see, my brother. Yeah, 1000 RR been rocking with me, Angelica, for the beginning. He comes on every now and then, but I've been putting up a lot of truth right now. Yeah, this one is going to be a little bit, this is going to be a barbecuing, but at the same time, it's going to be a healing, because I don't do this to be hateful towards my own people. What I'm saying is that I'm sharing with the world in regards to why we have not progressed. And I seriously say this. It's because of the Democratic Party and a lot of old head Negroes that have held us back for a long time. They didn't take care of house and home. They didn't take care and do what the responsible thing, whatever like that. You know, other groups do it, but we had this type of rift, and it didn't used to be this way. Because my grandmother in the silent generation, they had even under segregation, Jim Crow, they had a community, buried well over 80%. Is what has happened is when the blacks, these 19 people that's born in the late 40s, mid 40s, right? What we call the baby boomers, that's where it failed in the so-called black community. It's the baby boomers. You know what I'm saying? 1000 RR says Larry Elder has a movie called Uncle Tom that explains this well. He does. And Larry Elder, I got big ups to Larry Elder. Larry Elder is old enough to be my father as well. And he could be old enough to be your grandfather, probably. I don't know how old you are, 1000 are, but Larry Elders is definitely old enough to be my damn father, that's for sure. And with his wisdom and advice, he gives excellent information in regards to that. So, and a lot of that, this is why I'm feeling inspired to also help him to give pushback in the black community. There's another one, 1000 RR. Larry Elders is the modern day Thomas Sowell. If you know about Larry Elders, you should know about Thomas Sowell. And he goes further than Larry Elders. Thomas Sowell is like in his 90s. But he always gave that real concise analysis in the black community and things like that. So, like I said, they were like the pioneers. And I'm just recapping on a lot of things. If I'm saying, it may sound like I have read a lot of these books. But to me, it's common sense. Okay, so yeah, 43 years old. So yeah, he old enough to be your daddy. Yeah, he old enough to be your daddy. Yep, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all good. Yep. So that's the thing about it, 1000 RR, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Our problem is because a lot of us wasn't left with nothing. They didn't handle their responsibilities. These old head black men, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. The worst thing ever is listening to these so-called black leaders and being a Democrat. Those are like the two worst things ever. And we lost a whole lot. We lost a whole lot. Yeah, Thomas Sowell is the GOAT. Yeah, that's what the 1000 RR said. Yeah, I got some books with Thomas Sowell, and I've listened to that brother for a long time. That brother was on it. That's what really gave me. I said, you know what? The stuff started really making sense. You know what I'm saying? It started really making sense. It's time for more blacks, and they are taking accountability now, responsibility, instead of playing the blame game and being playing the blame game and the lack of accountability and responsibility. This is the word Larry Elders always beat that drum all the time. Accountability and responsibility, accountability and responsibility, accountability and responsibility. You don't never see these black leaders ever say accountability and responsibility. Oh no, it's white men, you know. These phony black leaders that don't do anything for black folks, like Al Sharpton, and we even got to let it be known too. Farrakhan, I mean, they holding him up in high esteem, but when you really think about it, though, doesn't he live in Chicago? Isn't Chicago a mess right now? It's always been always been a travesty up there in Chicago. Black death, black crime, black violence on violence. The problem is with a lot of these religious leaders, they talk a good game, but they have not taught because they don't know how to do it. But had they would really be about that life for real, they would show by example. They would have galvanized and gotten black businesses, gotten black people together to build in their own communities. But they haven't taught that because it's all about getting blacks together and giving them dollars and make them feel good speeches at the end while they still go out here and continuously do the same grifting stuff. That's what it is. It's just a transfer of wealth from our hands into theirs. They could do, even with the Million Man March, you know what I'm saying? Even with that Million Man March, raise all that damn money and didn't do shit. That's exactly what it is. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. Yeah, Al Sharpton is a race hustler. Exactly. He always have been. To me, they all are race hustlers. He ain't by himself. There's a lot of them, though, on 1000RR. And it's a time that we start calling them out more and more and more because more and more black folks are starting to wake up, especially young black men. They're waking up. That's why they voted for Trump. Trump is going to do way more for this country than they ever have. Waiting on them because if they would have, that's why I say, looking at our so-called elder, we ain't looking too cool, man. We don't really have a whole lot of black excellence to look up to, which is very, very sad because a lot of these old heads, and it's sad to see black men that are even like Generation Xer babies, they also kowtow down to black women. You know, black women are the ones that they bow down and kowtow down to. It's sad though. They get their marching orders from black women all the way down to the vote. You know what I'm saying? This is how sad it is. So I don't take my marching orders from women, but a lot of them do. A lot of black men do. Because once again, they're afraid of being ostracized. That's why they do it. You know what I'm saying? There's not a man among them. Because if it was, they'll be building their own communities up. But they don't do that. They would have sit over here and blame the white man for everything. Later for that, I could just simply go over here and get together with some people and start building something instead of sitting back and shaming and blaming or whatever. And that's all they do. That's all they do. So I'm giving them the pushback today or whatever. I know there was a channel that I commented on. It's called Hood Politics. And they were over here big upping and all on the Democrats, you know what. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying these guys got to be, they got to be around our age somewhere. Like they're definitely Generation Xers for sure. I'm not really talking a whole lot about anything, but I told him that I was going to do a live, and I told him I'm going to go in on him too. He came in my live though just to take a peek, talk about why I didn't hit the link. I said I'm not going to hit the link because I don't do Negro conversations on Negro channels. I was curious when I ran across his room because, you know, it was that night I was just kind of bored though too. So that's what that was about, you know. So they are the problem too. No solutions, a bunch of problems. They talk that talk just to appease and appeal to black women. That's all it is though. They're cowards, man. They are cowards and they don't stand on truth. And I'm calling them out for it. I'm calling all of them out. Them, these B1 foundational blacks too. You got to get them too. I got to get the B1s and the foundational blacks. I got to get these guys too. Because here it is. They have, all they are antagonistic, phony organization. Not even an organization. They just rally around Tariq Nasheed talking all this foundational nonsense. 1000RR and Angelica. They just sit around here talking all this nonsense, right? But they never have built in their own community. It's more hypocrisy than anything else. Because if they really was about that life, they would be able to build something for their own. And then neither of them have done that because it was too cowardly and too punked out over the white man. That's exactly what it is. So they can miss me with that. That's why I go in on them every single time. They don't want to smoke. If they wanted to smoke for real, then they would do something. You shouldn't want to smoke with me. You should be trying to prove me wrong and make me a liar by building in your community. I ain't the one that's saying I'm a black leader. I ain't the one that's galvanizing. But these people that call themselves black leaders and call themselves for the black cause and for the black people, then they should be the ones out here. They should be the ones showing by example. They have not done that. Therefore, they all have are failures. It's about time. They voted for a failure party. They have failure causes. They don't stand on no truth. They're just whining little bitches is what they are. And that's why I say even the young black men and women have more sense and common sense than the old head blacks. Still voting Democrat, right? Instead of voting for the party of your ancestors, though, because that means you don't know history. Now, I happen to be a history buff, so that's what makes it a little easy for me. I know the history of the Republican Party, and I know the history of the Democratic Party. But these old heads still telling that lie or whatever. And that's why I don't have a lot of respect for them, you know? And it's hard for me to have a true respect for Dr. Claude Anderson as well, too. Because the thing about it is, he was the one that said that how he worked under Jimmy Carter. Dr. Claude said that he worked under Jimmy Carter. He was the one that said that he worked it in the Democrats. He said Dr. Claude says he made this claim how he was trying to get policies that help black folks. And I'm saying this, Dr. Claude Anderson is a history buff. You mean to tell me you went to the wrong party? You went under the Democratic Party trying to get Jimmy Carter to work and trying to do things for black folks back then. And he got roadblocked. He talked about it, right? And I would have said if he was a history buff, why didn't he encourage blacks to vote for the party of their ancestry, which was the Republican Party? You know why I think that he didn't do that? Talking about Dr. Claude. I'm going to tell you the reason why I think he didn't do that, because of simply this. He was afraid, like most black men, they are afraid of being ostracized, being ridiculed and things. And even back then, to call yourself a Republican back in the 70s, it was considered to be taboo. And I know, I'm quite certain 1000 RR why Dr. Claude didn't want to do that. I think he would have been more successful as opposed to getting the Democrat Party to do something. He got blocked on every level and still stayed 10 toes down on it. It's absolutely ridiculous. These are old heads today. That's why I don't have a lot of respect for them. 1000R says, these crazy women nowadays want to start the 4B movement. Yeah, this is another one. This is another Democratic branch that is starting to branch off, but it's not going to get no traction because now that we have Trump in the White House, he's crushing a lot of these movements because they're not getting funded. They will not get funded, not by the government, which is absolutely crazy. So they can start the movements all they want, though, 1000RR, but it's not going to show up in the school systems, and it will not be funded at all. I don't even take 4B movement seriously anyway. There's nothing but a bunch of half-wit, crazy, man-hating ass women, purple hair, shaved, bald hair, bull ring, hating ass men, women. That's really what they're all, a bunch of feminist bitches. That's what they are, man. Nobody's checking for that. I always told men in general, get yourself a conservative woman. You may have to go out of the country to find a nice conservative woman. You don't want no feminist. You don't want no liberal ass woman. Those make the worst. They're not wives. They're not wives. And a lot of them sleep around on men, though, free sex and all. Abortion and body counts up to wazoo. Different color hair. It's a turn off for me. They never have to worry about me wanting to talk to a liberal, crazy bitch. I won't do it. I won't even put myself to that type of problems or whatever like that. They're another problem to the situation. These old crazy rainbow color they're the ones that's causing the problem. But what good thing about it is the movement won't get any traction because they're not going to be funded. As long as it doesn't get funded, it's going to lose momentum because most people don't even take them seriously. They look at them as some crazy ass, whacked out ass bitches. That's exactly what it is. 1,000 R said 100. 100. And I appreciate it, my brother. So that's the thing about it, though. If I want to be in, I want to be in that category of Larry Elders. I want to be in that category of Thomas Sowell. I want to be in that category of Candace Owens and things like that. And I think I'm in great company right now because we have black excellence pushing against this lunatic leftist regime with this democratic, and they vote for against their destruction. They don't even vote for the ancestry of their party because anybody know we started the Republican Party. And there was a reason why we started the Republican Party. But none of these old heads and none of these other so-called blacks, pro-blacks, never talk about that. And I said it before and I say it again because a lot of them are cowardice. They would not tell the truth. They rather kowtow and bow down to black women. That's why it's hard to even follow them. They live in hypocrisy with a lot of these old black men. They sound like they still off of the slave plantation. Well, it's like, why do you talk like that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy. It's really sad. Angelica said, so true. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I'm a lover of black people. I'm a lover of black people for us to do better. And all we have to do, we have to align with somebody, right? And I think I talked about the platinum plan with Trump before. And I believe, because right now, that was the plan that he was going to try to implement back in 2020. But we know the history of what happened because Biden got in there hooked by crook and Trump didn't win. But I believe I went over the platinum plan in one of my other videos. And I think one day what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in there as well. And I believe that remember when Ice Cube met with Trump? And then when they met with each other, it was about the what was it? It was called the Contract to America by Ice Cube. I remember that, right? 1,000 RR says, bro, you are going hard today. Yes, sir, I am. You already in their category. You speak the truth. Yes, sir. A lot of black males today are scared. Yeah, they are. They're cowardice. Because you know why they are though 1,000 RR? Because it come from single black women. Now this ain't no disrespect to the single black women. It's that the reason why I'm gonna make this once again. 1965, the Great Society, Lyndon B. Johnson, when they implemented the Welfare Act of 1965, this pretty much destroyed the black community because we were married over an 80% rate up until 1965. And when the government pretty much said this, hey, you don't need to have no black man to be married to him no more. The government would take care of you. All you got to do is have babies and let the Welfare Act kick in. And there was a movie back in the 70s, and I remember it when I was a little kid. It was called Claudine. And the starring actors and actresses in that movie was what's her name? Diane Carroll and James Earl Jones, the guy that passed away last year. I'm a big fan of James Earl Jones. They were playing in that movie called Claudine. Claudine was about a single welfare mama played by Diana Carroll, one of the most beautifulest women back in the 60s. But at any event, she played in a movie called Claudine. And it was about her struggling, trying to make it with 5 kids. James Earl Jones was the guy that was trying to get next to Diane Carroll. Diane Carroll's character is called Claudine. So he was trying to get next to Claudine and all that. So that was the whole what the whole movie was about. And there was a snippet in the movie, a segment in the movie where the welfare, anybody that been on welfare know you have a caseworker when she comes by to check on the progress of the home and everything. And one of the stipulations stated that you cannot have a man in the home. It can't be no man in the home. If there's a single man in the home, it could jeopardize losing your welfare. So there was those times when he had to hide out, hid him in the closet. He had to be gone when the caseworker showed up. And we know that that was the truth because there's blacks that remember that coming up in I'm sorry, the Generation Xer as being little kids, and that was the way of life. So that movie reflected a lot of that, you know. So yeah, so this is why a lot of our young black men today, and it really happened in Generation X's generation, because a lot of our generation cow down to black women too. They kowtow and they bow down and things. This is another thing, you know. So do I see this being ratified and being fixed? Unless if they're being incentivized to be back together as a unit, because they were incentivized to be broken up. So without that, it's going to be very difficult. It's very complicated now with young single black women now. It's very difficult now. It's a very difficult thing. But getting back on the cooking, so this is the situation, man. This is where we are today. This is why we. This is one of the main reasons as to why we don't have a community no more. None of these pro-blacks, none of these so-called black leaders, none of them want to address it at all. They're constantly lying to black folks how the white man is doing this and that, all for the money, all for the ticket. You know what I'm saying? They really aren't. All this pseudoscience BS. How the black man is God, king of the planet, cream of the mother earth, and all this other nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, my brother, the black man is God. The man, God is man. You know, all this other nonsense. They have this type of stuff, but they don't have a history of doing anything. If you mean to tell me that we are the creators of all this stuff, when we can't seem to create nothing for ourselves in the black community, it's a hypocritical lie, I tell you. It has no relevancy today. If they aren't careful, man, because you got some pretty heavy historians and genealogists that would clean a clock. Just like Billy Carson found out with the one guy that cleaned Billy Carson's clock. They got to be careful. So they stay in those black debate arenas. But if they go and take their stuff on mainstream, they can mess around and get exposed. They don't want to have the conversations with the real historians, people that got scholarships, people that study and all the rest of the stuff with genealogy and all this other stuff. They don't want to go there because they'll get cooked. All they know how to do is just spit out pseudoscience, nonsense to make black folks feel good about themselves, by being creator and a mother planet and all this other kind of stuff. You know, the God is the black man, the Asiatic black man, the owner, the maker, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the type of nonsense right here. You know, but they can't create and do anything out their own communities. 1000 RR says off topic, but somewhat similar. I got I got selected for jury duty, and I think to myself, all these people on Section 8 and welfare and unemployment should be doing these duties. Yeah, they should. But here's the thing about it, and this ain't really off topic. This slide slides into what I'm talking about. Because again, it's about accountability and responsibility. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about, though, 1000 RR. If we were to go back and we start looking at it, when was the last time you seen black folks put a flag, a American flag, and fly it in front of their house? In the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, and so forth, black folks used to do that. In fact, black folks back then were very patriotic back then. In the heat and all the heart of segregation and all the rest of it, they still were more patriotic than they are today. Black folks are very less patriotic today. So this goes back to what I'm saying to you. They don't even know excuse me. They don't even want to know anything about the Constitution. They think the Constitution, oh, that's the white man stuff right there. They don't even want to even educate themselves on that. You know, the Constitution for all American citizens. But they still see themselves as inferior, and they learn that from white liberals. White liberals and these black people that have bought and was bought the idea of being nothing but a slave or an ex-slave, and that the Democratic Party is going to deliver them. This is the fallacy right here. Look at the communities, look at the blue states, and each and every one of them are riddled with crime, violence, drugs, gun violence, and everything else that's going on right there in these communities. I grew up in the black community, and they no different from Detroit, then Cleveland, Maryland. We go and name them all the way around. 10 major cities across the United States in these blue states all suffer from the same thing. I ain't seen no black leader fix that. They only come out to race hustle if they see a so-called injustice with a white cop or anybody that happens to be white. Then they come out and want a vanguard. It's nothing more than a game. That's it. Black on black. Where is Black Lives Matter? Who Black Lives Matter should really matter to, right? But it was nothing but a grift created by George Soros. It was a money grab and a transfer of wealth. Straight like that. Three fat black lesbians that started that group. And Patrice Cullors was at the helm of Black Lives Matters. This was a phony organization from the start. They only went out there to cause what? Havoc and chaos and destruction throughout the black community. This is exactly what they do. In fact, they were going out to major, not in black community, they were going out in major areas and tearing up major cities. They wasn't in the black community. I ain't never seen a Black Lives Matters members. I ain't never seen them go when Pookie shot Ray Ray. I ain't never seen Black Lives Matters come out there and do anything against that. All I saw is Pookie and Ray Ray doing what Pookie and Ray Ray does. I ain't never seen a Black Lives Matters. I never seen Al Sharpton. I never seen Farrakhan. I never seen any of these people come down here and stop Pookie and Ray Ray. Well, you see, my brother, Pookie and Ray Ray been subjected under the white man's rule, and this is the problem why the black man can't get together. That's how they sound. It's always an excuse after excuse after excuse. This is exactly what it is. You know, when you see my brother, you know, it's all theater, it's all entertainment because they know how to use black insecurities against them. And since black men don't stand up, they kowtow to black women. This is what it's all about. This is why we're in this situation right now. So I'm glad to see that the younger black men and women that have broken that curse. And that's why a lot of black men, 20 some odd percent of them voted for Trump. They broke that curse, and I'm proud of them. They stood up against big ear galoot Obama, that of the fallen Messiah and the great deceiver. That's what Obama, that's what I call him. I got to call him by his full name. I don't call him Barack Obama. I call Barack Obama the fallen Messiah and the great deceiver. That's what he's called. And he have deceived the world as well as in America. And his policies work more towards the LGBTQ than blacks. Here's a so-called black man, right? Half-breed. Because he's not a full black. He's a half-breed. I would consider him a half-breed. He's not full black. He got white in him. In fact, he identified with the Democratic Party, anti-American, hate Americans and hate Christians. He's a Muslim, true and true. And he can't stand Christians and he hate America. And that's pretty obvious with his policies. That's why I already roasted him about a couple of weeks ago. I did a whole live about him. You know what I'm saying? It's up here. It's up on my thing though. So I ain't gonna have to go back down and re-roast Obama again. I already cooked him already. That was easy to cook. Right now, I'm gonna get these B1s. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get all of them. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get those foundational blacks and all the rest of them. because they're nothing more than a nuisance. You have that type of wear and thought. You have that type of to be able to go in on people that don't look, that have a similar hue, that's coming over in America and doing well for themselves. You go to Florida right now, a little Havana and all the rest of them, right? You go over there and little Haiti and all the rest of them. They over there got their own businesses. Foundational blacks could have done the same thing. What do they do? Go around here like that old Negro, that old Sambo Negro did back in Tom, what's his name? Tom, Uncle Tom, right? They do the same thing. I spying, watching, and hating on the sideline. Don't have no businesses, ain't built jack, you know what. Just running around here trying to play I Spy on how many or what is it, non-foundational blacks that have businesses and doing well, take care of their families when they can do the same thing. It's totally ridiculous because weak-minded people need a leader. They need somebody to give them the orders and directions, right? I don't need no leader, especially no black leader. A lot of them full of shit anyway. Look at Umar Johnson. Look at his ass. He's terrible too. But you got people out there that follow him. Now black folks do what they want to do, but he ain't gonna deliver. He ain't gonna take them to the promised land. Yeah, he's gonna take you to the cleaners, but he ain't gonna take you to the promised land. Many of them gonna take you to the cleaners, but they won't take you to the promised land. They've been following Brother Polite. Look what ended up happening with him. Mr. Child, you know what? The P word on preying on this little girl. Now his butt is locked up. This is our black excellence. These are the people that we're supposed to follow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are you serious? Instead of taking accountability and responsibility, though, this is exactly what it is. And I said I was going to do more pushback with these type of videos. And I did a video to this, and I went even harder, though, to be honest. I went even harder. So we have to do this. I have to do it. I have to do this because the reason that I voted for MAGA once again, because the president, for the first time in our lifetime, we have a colorless president that cares about everyone in America for us to do better. And I do truly believe that we are going into the golden age. I seriously believe that. And what's going to end up happening is that it's going to make a lot of these pro-blacks and all these other people very angry and mad that it was a white man that delivered everybody. It wasn't them. It wasn't them. That's what they're mad about. That's why they be hating. They hate on Trump. They ain't nothing more than a common racist, along with that Democratic Party. They don't care anything about what they truly claiming that they standing up for black folk. No, they don't. They stand up for their own agenda, which is a lie. And I have to tell the truth in regards to what it really is. This is exactly what it is. And I'm going to stay on these type of topics like this too. I could. And I talk about other things. I don't stay on these topics, but every now and then I bring it up to get some pushback because there was some old head talking about this stuff earlier. What was the old head talking about? He was talking about Trump and racism once again. There's some old head attorney. I can't think of his channel right now. But man, it's really sad, man. When they gave the mic for anybody to speak, it's sad, man. But like I said, I just listened to it just for a minute, 1000R, and then I kept on going, because I don't stay on these buffoon entertainment network channels, man. I listen a little bit and I just keep on going. All they do is spread victimhood. They sound worse than some of these black women. They really do. 1000RR says we need strong black leaders, bro. Keep it coming. Yes, sir. We definitely need strong black leaders and stuff. And right now, what I'm really advocating for these young black men and the young black women, I'm advocating for these men to, because a lot of them voted for Trump, and stay away from these so-called black movement, black causes, because all it's going to do is alienate you, and it's going to mess with your money, and it's going to mess with your head, and you're going to end up walking around being 40, 50, or 60, bitter as hell. Do not fall for that trap. They need the men. I want these young men to really listen to me, these young black men to really listen to me. They really need the men because without the men, because we know that's why they already got to a lot of the women. Unfortunately, on 1000 RR, they got a lot of our sisters, unfortunately, because they're very emotional. But they need the men in a way that they can keep, they use the women to get to the men. This is the scam thing that they do. As long as they got the mind of the black woman can shame the black men to showing up like the church, showing up at these other events, give money to this, give money to that, make sure you vote Democrat. They know that they can shame a lot of black men. So this is a tactic that they have always used, right? But when black men are standing up for themselves like they did when they voted for Trump, it's not working no more, right? Because they did enough research, right? I got ridiculed from some black women. You think I cared about that? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. So what? So what if I voted for Trump? So what? What you gonna do about it? I just like I tell the pro-blacks, what you gonna do about it? I voted for Trump. What you gonna do about it? So what? What you gonna do about it? So that's the mentality that you have to have. You know, unfortunately, I got a friend of mine that been pro-black all his life, and we have these debates. I don't really debate no more because it's pretty much pointless at this point. But he the one that look weak, and people like him. You know, these guys that are like Generation Xers, tail end baby boomers, that still spit out these lies, talk about, oh yeah, the white man, and he benefited. This guy got a master's degree. This guy grew up, the guy that I'm talking about right now, 1000 RR, he benefited in a so-called racist society. He didn't grow up in the hood, in the black hood. He grew up in a prominent neighborhood, gated community with blacks and whites. He benefited. And many of these blacks that benefited, he went to, if you go and pull up Cass Tech High School here in Detroit, it was a very prestigious school. You have to have a 3 or a 3.5, whatever it is, grade point average to get into the school. Diana Ross went there. There's Big Sean that went there, the rapper. There's a few other people that I know that went to Cass Tech. And Cass Tech was like a prestigious high school. My friend went there. I had a couple of buddies that went to Cass Tech High School, right? Kwame Kilpatrick, he went there to Cass Tech and things. Mr. Alpha, right? There's a lot of famous people here in Detroit that have gone to Cass Tech High School. So a lot of these people have benefited, right? You know what I'm saying? My stepfather, right? He grew up in what they call the Boston Edison district here in Detroit. Back in the 50s and 60s, it was a very prestigious neighborhood over there where they had the big old mansion style houses, right? Like I said, because we grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, I never seen racism before. What I saw was, at that time, you saw blacks that were doing well, doing good for themselves, and then you saw ones that wasn't doing so well. So I'm only recalling experiences that I remember growing up as a kid. I've been around 97, 98% black. Went to an all-black school all my life up until I got into high school when my mom, relocated. But for all those other years, 11th grade, 10th grade, 9th grade, 8th grade, all that, all predominantly black. So yeah, I know. What I saw was black on black hatred, black on black crime. I see it. I don't know anything about white racism. I know a lot about black racism. I know a whole lot about black racism. Yeah, I know a whole lot about that. I can't talk about it because I never grew up in the South. I don't have those type of stories and stuff. I grew up in the inner city. Grew up in the era of the drug culture, right? 80s and 90s, dope, drug culture. Blacks selling drugs to fellow black people. Crime, violence, drugs, gang activity, you know, tribal confliction or communication or miscommunications that led to gun violence and death. That's what I remember growing up. And that's what it was pretty much all my life that I remember. They want to talk about the white man. I never seen the white man in the inner cities like that. All I saw is black. There wasn't half that no Ku Klux Klan. I never seen no Ku Klux Klan. I never seen sheets. I never seen that because we shoot. Are you kidding me? We grew up in the inner city. Not to say that this stuff didn't exist, but see what they fail to realize is that the Democratic Party, they don't need to walk around with the white sheets no more. They traded that stuff in a long time ago. They are the ones that wear the suits. They are the ones with the polished words. Those are the ones that smile in front of black folks and shake their hand to get their vote. Once they get their vote, they just leave them like a hot, drop them like a hot potato. They don't need them no more. And this is what's been going over for damn near 70 years. You would figure that most of blacks by now would have have more sense now to know the game. They still continue, instead of doing the research and finding out that the party of our ancestry was the Republican Party. But they would never tell that truth. They continue to big up the Democratic Party, suck the dick of the Democratic Party. And this is sad though, but it's the truth. Most of the black men, especially older black men, they suck the dick of the Democratic Party, the Democratic slave plantation. And I hate to get graphical like this, but it's one other way that I could say it to make a stinging sting, because I want them to be upset, because they should be ashamed of themselves instead of trying to convince black folk that the Democrats is the ticket in the way, and it's not. They don't have a history. And the reason why I say that we have a history of stopping slavery, because the Democratic Party in the 1800s, right around in the Reconstruction period, in fact, this was the reason why the Republican Party was started to stop the spread of slavery throughout the West. That's what I think they got as far as Arkansas, but our ancestors stopped it, and that was a great accomplishment. Blacks was well over 50% voting Republican until Martin Luther King came around. Besides that, and Martin Luther King was a Republican. He wasn't no Democrat at all. But they needed the black vote because they were going somewhere with this. They needed the black vote. And once they got the black vote, they dropped us like a hot potato. I'm talking about the Dems, the Democrats, liberal whites. Malcolm X said it the best. The worst person the dangerous person is the liberal whites, is what he even said, which is true. Because the liberal white knows how to be racist and smile right in your face. When they want to say the southern whites versus the northern whites, let me tell you something. The way I live in the north, I'm up here in Detroit. I'm around the worst of the worst kind when it comes down to liberals, right? Because those are the ones that know how to smile in your face and knife your ass in the back. And I'm right around up here with them. I'm an Uber driver. I pick them up all the time. They know how to talk about race, and they know how to talk about things, and then it's business as usual. They don't rock with us. They don't fuck with us like that. And when black folks start waking up and start doing research and look up the Republican Party, I did a whole video. You can go through my video catalog. And I'm building up a nice video catalog, and it's there. It talks about the history of the Republican Party. I did it in a short on purpose, because I realize that a lot of people they have the attention of a goldfish today. That's why I be doing shorts. And I do shorts on other stuff too. Because I want younger black men to get it. This ain't really targeted for old blacks. They're gone. I don't rock with old heads and all that. They're gone. It ain't no sense you can't reform an old dog. You got to put the old dog down. Old dog can't think quick no more, not willing to change. So I don't do a lot of investing in baby boomers and Generation Xers. I stay away from those particular types of groups. Sad but true. I have to deal with millennials, zennials, and G and A. Those are the ones I target, not those old ones. 1000RR says, whatever happened to all those good sitcoms back in the 80s and 90s? Family Matters, Cosby, blah, blah, Martin, Democrats control media, killing. Yeah, because what they did is that a lot of them have Jewish writers, right? And what they wanted to do is they wanted to kill the heart of, because anybody, if you notice with a lot of those sitcoms that you named, I know with Bill Cosby, well, let's talk about it. We'll do with Bill Cosby first. Bill Cosby, he was cool. I like the doctor thing. His wife, played by Patricia Rashad or whatever. It is cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Patricia. Yeah, it was cool and all. But here's the thing: if you notice, Bill Cosby's wife, right, the one that played Claire Huxtable, right? If you notice, she was a feminist. And most feminists, as a woman, what do? They bust the balls of men. She was always checking Bill Cosby even on the sitcom. Now there were some good moments in it because it still had the structure of the family unit, but she was the boss by far. So I didn't care for that too much, even though I watched it. It was a thing that we watched. Family Matters. It was teetering on the same thing. Reginald Bell Johnson played as what's his name, Winslow, the police officer, and all that. So you saw a little strength with him, but his wife was the ball busting feminist. She ran the house. She ran the show. So I have a problem with those type of shows. If we were to go back further, give me Sanford and Son, give me Good Times, because we need a James Evans today, right? We need male masculinity in the black community. That's what has to return. We need that. James Evans, true and true, he loved Florida, but he didn't kowtow and he didn't bow down to Florida, because when the decision was made, he made the final decision. And everybody in the house respected it. JJ, right? And all the rest of them, right? They all respected the authority. And we need stuff like that today. So, yeah, that's what I remember. Now, these other shows, Martin, you know what I'm saying? He played a role. Obviously, Gina and Pam, they ran it. I didn't see a lot of strength in Martin, though. He just pretended to be, but he wasn't that dude. At least in the TV show, he wasn't that guy. That guy was James Evans. He was that guy. That's what you don't see no more. And I'm going to tell you this, though, too, 1000RR. If you were to pull up the credits, they had, guess who wrote for Sanford and Son in them? That was Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, right? Those were the two major contributors that was writing a lot of those jokes and writing a lot of shows to Sanford and Son. When you look at the credits, Quincy Jones wrote the music. It's there on the credits. You know what I'm saying? With Sanford and Son. So yeah, that's the thing about that. Yeah, Red Fox wasn't no simp for no woman. If you remember in Sanford and Son, he wasn't no simp. He wasn't no kiss ass to black women like that. These other guys came later, they were. That's what we lost. We lost that. So that's why I brought that up as well. They didn't have the Jewish writers back then. Those guys, black folks, wrote their own comedic stuff, spreading the message. You know what I'm saying? 1000 RR says, yeah, I guess you're right. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Yeah, think about this though, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's no straight, the ones that you've been showing, no disrespects to the 90s. I watched the Family Matters, 80s show, Cosby, Family Matters, Martin, Living Single, Girlfriends, all of them, right? You know what I'm saying? What's the other one? What's the one with Damon Wayans in them? Eight Simple Rules, whatever, and all this other stuff. Even with Damon Wayans, though, you saw the strength that was with what's her name, Campbell. You saw the strength in her, not in him. You know what I'm saying? Because they always portray the man as a goofy, insecure, bumbling idiot. Every sitcom you watch today is always going to see the man as a goofy, bumbling idiot. And the wife have all the answers. She sit back, with all of the answers. Every now and then they make her get out of pocket, but not very often. She runs the house. She's the head. She's the authority. That's straight like that, especially in black culture, though. So they are true to form about that, but they are true to form about that. That's for sure. So yeah, I'll give me Good Times. I'll take Good Times. I'll take the Jeffersons. Sherman Hemsley wasn't no simp. He wasn't no simp. You know, Sherman Hemsley as George Jefferson. Give me that. He wasn't no simp. Who else you give me? Red Fox, the Sanford and Son. I'm trying to think of what else. Those are like 70 shows. But they were good. The writing was good. It related to what was going on in real life, things that black folks can relate to. But a lot of the Jewish writers that they've been writing ever since the 80s started rolling around. Now, Cosby had a lot of influence on his show, but after that, everything else has been written by Jewish writers. Those are not black writers writing for black TV shows. Those are all Jewish writers. And they've done that on purpose. Because a lot of those Jewish writers are Democrats, going back to your point. Those are liberals. Because they don't want that message. They know what they were doing by taking over. They hijacked and took those black TV shows over, and they started putting Jewish writers on them and changed the narrative around anything that can be less threatening. We don't want to ever show a black man strength ever, according to the liberal Democrats. They are the ones responsible. That's why you will always see a sitcom show. Now that I bring it up, whatever you watch, you will see for yourself. They will never show the strength of a black man ever. And they do this on purpose because they know that art imitates life. And anybody watching any of these TV shows, this is how to get young black men in line to be a simp, kowtow to the black woman, bow down. And that's why black women now, they have a problem with male masculinity. A lot of them are just not used to it. A lot of them don't even have no father in the home anyway. They don't know what that is. They buck against it because a lot of the black women are convinced that they're men, along with feminism. Jumped on a white woman's struggle. They don't even understand it. Black women have always worked since the slave house. They never been oppressed by no black man, but they jumped on a white woman's struggle. Black feminists and white feminists do not hang out with each other at all. But the white women, feminists that know how to use black women, which they did, to springboard off of white woman struggle, because they needed those extra numbers. And then now that they got it, they don't rock with black women like that. So once again, who got duped? The black women that follow feminism got duped. Instead of stand by your man in the struggle, they didn't do that. It would have been nice if black women would have stood by their man. That they didn't do that though. They jumped on a white woman struggle. Here we are today. A lot of them now convinced, most black women convinced that they are a man today. And this is why the relationships don't work. You can't have two men in a relationship. Sorry, doesn't work that way. Men want to marry a woman that's feminine, not a woman that's masculine. I don't want nothing masculine that remind me of a man. Sorry, that's not how it's supposed to work. But I understand what happened historically. But until they know this truth and understand why they do what they do, they're going to always keep getting what they don't want. Being single with a bunch of children. And that's what's going on right now. That's what's going on right now. It's sad seeing a lot of these black women convinced that they act and behave like men. You know yourself and I know. They walk around here with this unaccessible amount of weight on them. Like a linebacker. Sad, but it's the truth. We got to tell the truth for what it is, though, This is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is exactly what happened. These are hard truths, man. It pains me to say it, but it's the truth. I don't get no satisfaction of speaking the truth. That's why they say the truth, you can't handle the truth. What's that movie, The Few Good Men? Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. A Few Good Men. The truth, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, a lot of people can't really handle the truth, man. They don't like the truth. But if we're gonna be anything, being close to God as we possibly can, we got to start telling the truth. We can't be over here telling lies, because that's not gonna give his. He's not gonna. That's not gonna get God's favor blessed on to you. You sitting up here. If I'm sitting up here lying and saying how great we are, we know that's not true. Black, we that great. Oh yeah, we're great. Black being great, black women great. No, we not. We're not doing so well, man. And it's sad too. With this Trump administration, I'm really positive that things will turn around. I just want a lot of blacks to denounce these phony black leaders and start finding strength and being the leaders that God intended for them to be. Be your own leader and stop glorifying and idolizing people that don't give a damn about you. I named a few of them out here, and there's many more of them. I mean, it's many more of them, man. But like I said, the young black men and women that have stood up, and they got themselves educated. They started going and doing the research on the Democratic Party. They started, voting for Trump and things like that, because we are all looking for change. Trump's policies are common sense policies. And then they love to bring up Project 2025. To really be honest with you, I don't see a whole lot of problems with Project 2025 at all once I started looking at it. It's just conservative viewpoints that a lot of these blacks that have not read it, but they just went on repeating what they had already heard these Hollywood elites repeat. Because most black folks don't like to read either. Just go on and tell the truth. That's why I was always told from old school wisdom, if you want to hide something from black folks, all you got to do is put it in the book. And we all have heard that before. If I want to put money or anything of value, all I got to do is put it in the book. They will not go in the book and check and read it. Very rare they'll do that, but most of them will not go. They will not read that book. A book is a kryptonite to black people. Reading a book is kryptonite. Right there. Kryptonite to black folks. Whites know it. Liberal whites know it too. They know it. Trying to get black folks to read, kryptonite. You are very welcome, Joseph. Welcome to the chat, man. Thank you so much. Yep, just over here spreading some truth, man. Spreading some truth, regards to that. So, yeah. But other than that, though, things are changing. Because we have a man, the MAGA movement, the party of our ancestors, the Republican Party, not the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is not the party of black folks' ancestry. Our ancestry is the Republican Party. We are for free all for all of us. A colorless president, Donald Trump, for a colorless society. And I do believe we all are going to get there. This ain't about division. This is about love. I'm doing love teaching. This is about love teaching. This is what this is about, We all can coexist together. But I have to bring up these unpleasantries about the truth of the plight of black people right now and things. Because as long as they're listening to these old heads, these old liars, right, that have built their whole life spreading this hate and spreading this untruth about racism today. We are not living in this time today. We are living in a time of opportunity. And as long as they can spit these lies out to try to make a few extra bucks, because that's really what it's all about. They hide on social media. They sit on the internet, and this is all they do is spread out a bunch of rhetoric. They do not have the model to be able to show for themselves. They are not the men. They are not the masculine male leaders that they were designed to be. They are not. That's why I have more respect for the younger generation. And some of us are Generation Xers too, you know. Some of us, not all of us are bad, but the majority of those baby boomers are gone in the black community. Because like I said before, they still sound like they're coming off of the slave plantation. Just how they talk and sound. We in 2025. There's no reason an older black man should be sounding like he just got off picking cotton. Yeah, I remember 20 years ago when I was on the slave plantation picking cotton from Mr. Johnson. Yeah, and I was just so happy he allowed me to vote. They've been telling this lie. You know that we've been voting since the Reconstruction period, 1863 to 1877. Blacks have been prominent. We were the ones that structured and built the political system and the Republican Party. They make it sound like we wasn't doing nothing but just slavery going on. It's not true. We had a lot to do with what the system that we are enjoying today and the Constitution. 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment was pretty much designed for black folks in that particular time. It was designed to offset slavery. That's what that was designed to do, to stop the spread of hate and slavery. Do your research, young black people, like a lot of you have. I did a short, and on my short, and if you look at my catalog, you will see once again the history of the Republican Party. None of these pro-blacks will share that history with you. They never talk about the Republican Party. Think about that for a minute. I don't even hear Dr. Claude Anderson ever mentioned. He's supposed to be the history buff, but I ain't not one time heard him ever mention about the Republican Party and it's the ancestry of our people. I never heard him mention that. Why? Why? Why not? I never heard Dr. Umar Johnson mention it. Why not? I never heard Farrakhan mention it. Al Sharpton mentioned it. They never mentioned that. Why not? You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Let me let you in on a little secret. And don't tell nobody. The reason why they won't tell the truth about that, because they are afraid if they tell the truth, they're gonna what? They're gonna lose their congregation and be called out and be ridiculed by their own people. So what they do is they tell a lie or keep that information to themselves. That's why they won't do it. That's the secret. See, as long as you don't do that, because it's important for them to keep the congregation or keep their followers, right? Because if you start saying about the Republican Party is the party of our ancestors, that would destroy everything they got going on. And they all have benefited from the Democratic Party leadership and rich white liberal elites. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we have never have gained one iota. We have not moved as a people. We have been hoodwinked and bamboozled, as Brother Malcolm would say. It's coming from our own so-called black leadership. And that's why I say do away with it, because they don't mean you no good. They mean you more harm to keep you in your permanent impoverished mentality. As long as you can't move from there, they keep you there and they keep you hating. And you'll grow up one day being very bitter, very snarly, because it will destroy you. It'll mess with your life. Blacks can get out here and get into STEM like anybody else. We were doing it before. Science, technology, engineering, and math. This is what I tell the young black men. Don't make the same mistakes. The mistakes the things that I would say to get into, go in there, become the engineer, go into science and technology. These are the things that you want to do. You don't never have to feel threatened by an illegal coming into this country when you have the skill sets. Get a trade or get a skill, one of the two, because you don't ever have to be worried about something being taken away from you, right? This is what it is. And I'm very, very disappointed how a lot of these so-called black folks, you notice that, and even with these foundational blacks, You don't see them nowhere about the mass deportation. See, I always stand firm on mass deportation. I did a whole thing on it yesterday. The whole thing with the illegals in this country. Brown, black and brown, let's be honest, we have never been down. Let's keep it 100 now. And there's a lot of reasons for that. A lot of it's a known fact. Now I don't have any problems with my brown community people. I got friends that are Puerto Rican and all that, and that's besides the point. The point I'm making right now is simply this, right? We're talking about illegal, not people that are legal. I have no problems with Hispanics or any other ethnic group as long as you are legal here in America. Because when you are not legal, it makes you a criminal. Now, instead of these B1s and all them, instead of standing with the truth, you don't hear from them at all. They won't talk about this. The only thing they know how to do is point out another black person, like a Haitian person doing well in America, Jamaican person doing well in America. These are the people that they know how to spot out. They have all this energy and all this smoke for anybody that has not been born as a foundational black person. This is the most dumbest thing ever. And it's like the foundational blacks under Tariq Nasheed. Where can you go with this? Because you guys, you don't own where you live at. You don't have a community. You don't own any type of businesses, no infrastructure. You're not doing nothing. All you're doing is alienating yourself. And you follow dumb people, then the shame is on you. No, I don't have no respect for Tariq Nasheed at all. Because what he should be doing is telling the truth instead of filling his own pocket up and telling a whole bunch of hypocrisy and a whole bunch of hypocritical lies. Because that movement is going to die very soon. Because where can you go when you alienating yourself? Who's going to be an ally to you? You push the Jamaicans away, the Africans away, right? You push the Haitians away. You pushing all these ethnic groups away. Like, foundational blacks don't have enough problem as it is. Because you ain't got no, what is it? You ain't got no communities for real, for real. What are you doing other than just knowing how to stand on the sideline and hate other ethnic groups? You're just nothing more than a nuisance and a hater. How is that going to be a deliberate of foundation on blacks? Just aggravating people, antagonizing people, gaslighting people because they have been in this country maybe less than 1 or 2 generations and figured out how to go into business. Going into a business is not that hard. Getting an LLC is not that hard. Getting a business credit is not that hard once you know the rules. But why do foundational blacks feel like the rules don't apply to them? This is the hypocrisy as well too. They absolutely think that whites and other people are just supposed to give them stuff. It's not going to work. I'm telling you, I'm saying this. You will never ever get reparations. And I'm black saying this. If reparations should have been given, we should have had that boy way back in the 1800s when they abolished slavery. Why having the so-called smart black leadership polls for, they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity. I believe it was the Indian Treaty of 1866. Look at the Indian Treaty. They were supposed to have shared that money with blacks and Indians. Guess who took the money? The Indians. Did they share it with the blacks in that time? No, they did not. So there's your problem right there. You know, whites tried to pay it out. But guess what? The Indians didn't share the money. There you go. Go and look it up. Go and look it up. Talk about your so-called Native Americans. Go and look it up. Indian Treaty of 1866. The freedmen, right? Look at the situation. We had black freedmen banks, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all these other places. Your family may have some money over there if you know how to go in there and research it and check. because there was a lot of unclaimed money. It's just amazing to me that we even had black banks back then. Why we don't have any black banks today? I'm talking about officially black banks. Oh, well, I know why, but we don't have a black bank. We don't really have no black neighborhoods no more. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We really don't have a lot of these things. We really don't. Is it racism that we don't have it, or we just refuse to want to do it together? Remember, after they removed segregation, called it integration, we had 1,000 black bus lines in the South, Mobile, Alabama. I got relatives, family in Alabama, Tuskegee area. They grew up riding on a black bus line, right? We had movie theaters, stores, and so forth, right? Car washes, record shops, all kind of stuff down there in the South. They're right down there in the South. We had all that going on. After integration, it was wiped out. If integration was so great, why did we lose so much? Whites didn't lose their system. A lot of those racist liberal whites, they didn't lose their businesses. All to ride on a white bus line. Man, we had about 100 bus lines back then. We don't have one now. Right? Yeah, man, this is, so like I said before, man, we are going in the right direction though. This is why the young black men and women are winning. We are winning. Anybody that voted for Trump, and I'll say this before I close, when you bet on Trump, you're gonna always win. And everything Trump said he's been winning. He's been right about everything. The haters hate it so much. They can't find no fault. They try to find fault with this man, and they can't find it. Trump been right about everything. You know? If black folks want to get prosperous and want to do better, align yourself with Trump. You will never go bad with Trump. And that's what we're going to do. I can't wait for him to roll out the platinum plan. And I went over the platinum plan before, where Trump was going to allocate $400 billion to the black community. And I think what I'm going to do one day, I'm going to go over that platinum plan again. You can Google it. Google, I want you, 1000R, when you get a chance, you, Angelica, even Joseph, you guys get on there on the YouTube and Google search, it's called the Platinum Plan. Pull that up and you will see everything I'm talking about. It's called the Platinum Plan. The Platinum Plan was a policy that Trump was going to implement as it's called his promise to the black America, Donald J. Trump. And matter of fact, on my next live, I'm going to go over the Platinum Plan again in its full detail entirety. He allocated $400 billion that was going to go towards the building the infrastructure of the so-called black community. In fact, I may just touch and talk on it again before closing. How about that? I think that'll be a wonderful treat. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. It's called the platinum plan. Let's see here. Give me 1 minute. Let's see, the platinum plan. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, there it is. Donald J. Trump. Here it is. The Platinum Plan. This is going to be for all my detractors, all my race baiters, all my haters talking about how the white man never going to give us anything and all the rest of the stuff. Check this out. This is called the Platinum Plan. President Trump's pillars. And I believe that he overtook what Ice Cube had. But that ain't really the point. The point is what he's planning, his promise plan to do. opportunity, right? It's under 4 pillars. First one is called opportunity. By achieving a historic employment levels for Black Americans, as well as increasing access to capital for new businesses, President Trump has what? Been committed to assure all Black Americans can achieve the American dream. Security. By signing into law the celebrated First Step Act, President Trump has brought common sense criminal justice reform to American people for the first time in decades, while ensuring that our streets, right, and communities are safe for families and business owners. Let me continue. Prosperity. As the first president to provide a long-term funding to historically Black colleges and universities, this administration continues to seek immediate and generality advancement for Black Americans. Fairness, as demonstrated through his actions to initiate investment into opportunity zones, which we do have those, by the way, as well as address health disparity, wage gaps, and necessary education reforms. President Trump works every day to advance fair and just America for Black communities. This is under the Platinum Plan. You can pull this up. Now, going back to the historical Black colleges, he was actually starting or already have implemented some of those policies on his first term when he was first in office back in 2016. He allocated over $360 million to the historical Black colleges. There's a total of 107 historical Black colleges across the United States. Once again, that equates to about $3.3 million each for each university. So in other words, when the block gets hot, everybody eats. And that's exactly what happened. Do a lot of these so-called pro-Blacks and all the rest of them talk about this stuff? No, they don't. Because if they do, it will interrupt their financial scam game. That's why they won't mention it. They would rather make more money telling a lie about Trump being a racist than what Trump have did helping Black people. This is a known fact. You can look this up, but there's a lot of money, over $360 million, that he had given for the long span, because Obama gave like $10 million. And at the time, Obama was the highest president that paid the historical Black colleges. Obama did $10 million. Trump did $360 million to the historical Black colleges. A racist and a hater would not do that. Let's go ahead and continue on. President Trump promised to Black America over 4 years, increasing access to capital in the Black neighborhoods by almost $500 billion. This is what we always been looking for. Why is they calling this man a racist? And like I said, they're going to eat crow because this plan is going to go down. I really see it going down. It's on the back burner, but you can still pull it up and look at it. This is it. This is exactly what he was going to implement had he would have gotten in office back in 2020. May I continue? 3 million in new jobs for Black communities. Let me repeat. 3 million new jobs for Black communities. creating 500,000 new black-owned businesses, increased access to capital in black communities by almost $500 billion. Stop. Here we are. Have I seen one pro-black offer this? Have I seen Farrakhan offer this? Have I seen Al Sharpton? Jesse Jackson in his heyday can't do it now because he's mentally like a vegetable pretty much right now. Have any of these other so-called leaders, have they been able to offer or give us any type of real business plan, layout of what they're going to do other than just begging for reparations? No. I'm reading what Trump got going on right here. Again, President Trump's promise to black America over 4 years. Have I hear any other body? Access to capital. Because remember, we've been marginalized, disenfranchised, underserved, with predatory lending in the neighborhoods. That's why you don't see a lot of banks in the hood no more. You see a lot of pay in advancement, pay your check cash in places, right? Well, a exuberant amount of high interest on that. Borrowing $600, you may as well got to pay $750 back on the return. But this is legal practice. This is what has been allowed to happen. I ain't seen nobody champion against that. It's time to have a reality check, black people. The choice is clear. Like I said before, I'm celebrating that we winning. And winning we will be. So let me finish continuing Donald Trump's promise to black Americans over 4 years. Let me go ahead and continue. Safe urban neighborhoods with the highest police standards. Think about that. What does he mean? Safe urban neighborhoods. When we have access to capital and have access to building wealth, I do believe that black families are going to start getting together and we're going to start winning for the first time ever. And we're going to be feeling good about ourselves. It should be our neighborhood should mirror as to what is in the suburbs. There should be it shouldn't be like a major difference between the suburbs and in the inner city. The inner city should match what it looks like in the suburbs. Right? You should have nice, clean stores, restaurants, shopping centers in our communities, just like they have in the suburbs. Crime will go down as long as we have access to capital. Marriages will go up. Babies will not have to be aborted. All this thought stuff will go away. Being a role model citizen, being respected once again. And I believe that we are on our way, ladies and gentlemen, before I close. So this is why I wrote the title, what I told them. It says, I'm going to hold back until this point. I done already did enough cooking. Now we're coming up with the answers now, right? Right? So commit to working on a second step program. Access to better education, job training opportunities. And that's what blacks are going to get. Better education and access to job opportunities. Give black churches the ability to compete for federal resources for their community. And again, these black churches will be watched, and you know they're going to be audited. They're not going to play that game just by giving the churches money. They will be audited. Because remember, Doge is in power right now. The Department of Government Efficiency. So the church F up if they want to. There'll be some people going to jail. You may not want to do that. Bring better and tailored health care. Address historical disparities. There we go. Right? So this is another thing. Bring better and tailored health care. Because we know in the black community, there's a lot of issues with health care. We need to have access to capital. We need to have access to better doctors and tailored, right? We need to have that, right? Immigration policies that protect American jobs. This is another importance. I'm going right down the list, ladies and gentlemen. Where are my B1 blacks at and foundational? Where are they? I'm giving it to you from the source. We got to stop the hate, by the way, too. Coming on the black side, we got to stop the hatred, black people. Stop the hatred. Got to stop the hatred now. Advanced home ownership opportunities and enhance financial literacy in the black community. And we definitely need financial literacy because a lot of blacks do not understand financial literacy, credit cards, assets, liabilities. And we need teachers to be able to teach black people what is an asset, what is a liability, right? We need financial literacy. Trump got us on that. So far, I'm kicking the pro-blacks' ass right now, and I'm also kicking the foundational blacks in their ass too, and Pan-Africanism. Because if they were really about their people, they'll be reading off what I'm reading off on Trump's policies. So they have failed. They have not done so. So let's go down the list, right? All right. So onshoring manufacturing to advance jobs and develop opportunities for black-owned businesses. This is another one, right? Future prayers. Okay, yo, you says, I just joined. I appreciate it, Future Prayers. He said, remember me from the other streams? I sure do, Future Prayers. How you doing there, sir? How are you doing? It's always good to see people return back to the live, man. You guys make me feel real good, man. Let me tell you though, man. I thought I was just gonna be on here. A lot of times, man, I may not get a whole lot of views, but if I can get a repeat people back, Future Prayers, man, that's all that matters, man. How you doing there, sir? How are you doing there, Future Prayers? You know, I'm welcoming you back, man. Sorry about that. I get a little caught up in the reading a little bit. I'm just sharing Trump's platinum plan, his promise to the black community. I got to whoop up on these foundational blacks, and these B1s and these pro-blacks, you know what I'm saying? Show the hypocrisy in their ways, you know, so that's why I do what I do. But other than that, Future Prayers, how are you, sir? Yeah, man, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, man. I wasn't ignoring you. I hope you come back, man, you know. But yeah, man, I appreciate you following me. And I appreciate you guys liking, too. That's really cool, man. I really appreciate it. For all that come in this room or just listen. You could be a listening ninja. That's cool, too. You know what I'm saying? I do acknowledge people. Good to see Angelica again. 1000 RR as always. It's always my road dog there, you know. Yeah, man. Future Prayers. Joseph came on saying thank you. Joseph Lanzia. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Yeah, I really do. Somebody got to start telling the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? I have to do this because I'm doing great pushback against all the hypocrisy, the lies and deceit that's coming from the left. And it's also coming from in the so-called black community. So I don't mind pushing them back. This stuff is really not even a debate. The debate this is just stupidity, man. It really is. Because they don't have anything. What you going to debate about? They're not setting up any type of businesses. They're not. At least Trump got a plan here implemented to go. And I'm quite certain that these things are still, it's called his promise. And I ain't never seen Trump not keep his promise on anything he said he's going to do. This is a guy that's already a billionaire, man. He don't need to be a sellout to the system. He don't need George Soros' money. He don't have to bow down and kowtow down to George Soros. Elon Musk ain't got to bow down and kowtow down to George Soros. Elon Musk got more money than both of them. That's what people don't understand. One of the most smartest men on the planet. Either these guys are doing something wrong or are they doing something right. I say they're doing something right. I say they are. They don't need those guys' money. Well, we know it would have been one of these B1 blacks or whoever it would have been. They would have sold out in a New York minute. You think Umar Johnson would have had that opportunity? He would take that money in a New York minute. Shit, are you kidding me? I can answer that one real quick. Shoot, ain't no loyalty, ain't no solidarity when it come down to us. Sellout is the common thing when it come down to so-called black folk. Are you kidding me? Shoot, all they doing is over here telling lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Right? So let me go ahead and go further down the list and then I'm done. The black economic empowerment and access to capital. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Reach even a greater level historically employment wage growth for the black community set in 2019. I remember that because we had a boom. Man, we was booming. We was rolling when President Trump was around. Future prayers, man. I hope you come back, man. You know, cause I felt bad. He said, man, remember me from the other street? I said, I do. I do remember. I got a good memory. Seek infrastructure funding that will lead to widespread growth and annual 500 billion federal contracting opportunities. Now this is big, ladies and gentlemen. Grow minority-owned businesses with additional tax cuts to stimulate hiring and investment. Encourage offshore and development of domestic manufacturing. Increase supply chain business, develop and employment. Examine barriers to employment, including fees, occupational licenses, arrest record inaccuracy, inadequacy, and expungement. So here it is right here, man. I mean, this is a lot of stuff under this platinum plan, right? Invest almost $200 billion towards broadband internet access to create job opportunities, improving classroom connectivities, and the ability to utilize telehealth services. So some of you don't believe this. I already know. Some of the blacks don't believe that this platinum plan is real. They don't believe that Trump is going to do all this stuff in the so-called black community alone. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. And I understand, seeing is believing. You know, fueling access to capital for black-owned businesses, increasing opportunities for small business lending, technical assistance through the community of development financial institutions in order to grow business and create generational wealth opportunities. Over $400 billion in lending. Now let's just stop here for a minute. Let's go and keep it 100. Have you ever heard such a thing allocated towards black people outside of Trump? Have you heard it with any Democrat, let alone any Republican? Let's just be real. I know I never heard any side outside of MAGA Republicans that would do such a thing towards blacks to not only fix the problem, but eliminate poverty, wealth gap, disparity, underserved communities, disenfranchisement, right? I ain't never heard any other president that would go to the extent to do what Donald J. Trump said in his promise through the platinum plan. His promise. Never seen it with the Bushes. I never seen it with Obama. I never seen it with the Clintons. I never seen it with Jimmy Carter. I never seen it. I never seen it. Especially on the Democrat side. I never seen it on the Republican side. The uniparty, I never seen it. The only person I've seen this is with Trump, and Trump already started implementing some of these things in his first tenure when he ran 2016. I mean, not ran, but he became the president 2016 and won. And won. This is the miracle president. This is the president that have broke all records. The popular vote, won the House and the Senate, as well as the Supreme Court justice. This is the man with the master plan. This is the man that know business. The one that said, well, he went bankrupt 5 times, but he has a 95% success rate when it comes down to businesses. You only speaking talking points that you don't know, because we know that there's a lot of the Trump derangement syndrome people. They don't like it for him to win. They're trying to destroy and implode the economy now, and they're going to blame it on Trump. That's what they're trying to do. It's not going to work, but we already know the game plan already. Watch the idiot say, well, yeah, I thought Trump was a smart money man. Watch. Watch it going to say this. But guess what? The economy is going to bounce back. It's going to take a dip, but it's going to go right back because he knows what he's doing. Everybody in the world respect Trump. Everybody in the world don't respect Biden. But everybody in the world respect Trump. That's all I know. That's all I know. So yeah, so we looking good. I'm giving you the reasons as to why these young black men and women voted for Trump instead of fighting against them and trying to shame them and trying to shut them down and trying to ostracize them. You could be a big help and also be a supporter instead of being a hater. You just mad because you didn't have enough strength. At least these young brothers had enough strength to vote vote Republican and not Democrat this time. They were smart enough to say, I got tired of being lied to every time. All the Democrats do is lie to us. They are the party of racism. They are the party of hatred. They are the party of being the enemy to black America. They were the ones that was behind Ku Klux Klan. They were behind the neo-Nazis. They were the ones that was behind the war mongering, right? The war hawks and all the rest of them. This same party, right? It's the same ones that never wanted to share power with us. Never talked about an economical plan with us. Only thing they want to do is give us a bunch of bullshit of a bullshit ass civil rights bill that is worthless today. Talking about a DEI hire, which is worthless. I'm talking about real stuff. I'm talking about monies that $400 billion. I'm talking about real money, not this bullshit that the Democrats claim that they were going to do for us. They have been the responsible liberal white elites. They are the ones that have put us in the situation we in today. A permanent underclass almost. It was about to be lights out. Then they capitalized on our weakness by setting up the prison industrial complex. So when that's where your 3 strike rules and your actual crime bill, it was all birthed out of Biden and then the Clinton administration. You ain't hear none of these B1s and all these pro-blacks. They don't come here because, again, it'll be roasting. And I love kicking their ass when it come down to logic, too. Because, again, I don't take no marching orders from no black woman. They do. So if you come here, you better have your facts right. You better be on your game. But I know you ain't on your game because, again, you don't have anything. I'm reading to you right now. Fueling access to capital for black-owned businesses under Trump's platinum plan. I'm looking at this. You could Google it. I don't never see my distractors ever talk about this. Why not? And the reason that you don't see it now, because he didn't win back in 2020 when this was drafted up. That's why. The guy ain't even in the White House yet. Almost there, but not there yet. Geez, Louise, cut him some slack. That's all I'm saying. So we just have a history of outliers and haters. That's all they do. That's all they do. And they just get in these little rooms. And what do they do in these little rooms? All they are is just incest chambers. They just get off on themselves. They don't want to have the conversation for real. They don't want the debate for real. This is nothing in debate. How you gonna sit up here and debate how the Democratic Party been better for us as opposed to the Republican Party? What's that other dude, the handsome liberal? That dude, can't stand that dude, man. The handsome liberal. Ain't nothing handsome about that brother. Another Generation X kowtow down the black woman. No strength in him at all. But he knows how to come on here and talk this liberal shit. And again, all this, and like I said, they're going to eat humble pie. You know, I love making fools out of these old fools, you know? This is the problem. Modern day Sambos, handsome liberal. Handsome liberal is nothing more than a modern day Sambo. That's what he is. There's nothing intellectually smart about what he's talking about. Because if you ain't on the play, if you ain't on the Trump train, because everything else is gonna get you death and destruction. You can't mean to tell me you can big up any Democrat policy. You can't. You cannot. So let me go ahead and finish reading. Make minority businesses development agencies permanent. Appoint its leaders to assist Secretary of Commerce level. Create a sub-office of African American Affairs and engage with private sector advisors to assure real-world plans and solutions. Increase the number of black-owned contracting businesses, financial services, entitles, and property equity investment funds through regulatory reform and up to $40 billion in government funding alongside traditional private investments. Advance lending relationships with financial situations, particularly those businesses who aren't able to participate in the PPP. Host senior executives for major financial institutions on a quarterly basis to advance new and equitable lending programs for black communities. We ain't never heard this before in the history of the Democratic Party. We ain't never heard this before. Never, ever, ever. More education opportunities. Educational African Americans can choose federal, state, and local community partnerships to close failing schools and replace with full school choices educational opportunities to put American parents back in control over their children's future. You ain't never heard this before. Coming from, look at this, increase child care tax credits and provide greater access to preschool, quality preschool. Education African Americans can afford, right? These are things right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's called a platinum plan. And we know why they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. So yeah, so I think I'm going to get ready to close. But yeah, I had to go there. I had to do some barbecuing on some people. So yeah. So like I said before, we already see the problem in the so-called black community. And we have these old pussy, weak black men that refuse to get up in here and tell the truth. They kowtow and bow down to black women. That's why we don't have the respect throughout anybody else in the other ethnic race families. until that day change, and I believe it's going to be very soon that it's going to change. So I thank you guys for listening. Future prayers, man. I do apologize, man, for not getting back on you sooner. But I am acknowledging you, man. I do remember you as well. You know, I do remember you. You know, so did my channel freeze up? Do I got some type of lag? Man, what the hell is going on? Hold on for a minute. All right, hold on for a minute. Let me do. All right, I think that's better now. All this time I was talking, ladies and gentlemen, and guess what? My thing froze up. I mean, I am thinking I'm still alive. Man, I was wondering where everybody went. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. But my thing froze up. I was wondering what's going on. But I reconnect to my Wi-Fi. I should be back up and running now. I don't know what the hell happened, but it happens, man. You know, technology is not 100%. I'll be right back. Gotta use the restroom. Still connected. All right. Just wondering why I wasn't hearing anybody. All right, and try it now. It says I'm connected now. Had to go to my backup on my Wi-Fi. Man, I apologize for those that can hear me now. I mean, I really apologize about that, though, man, because I really apologize about that. You know, hopefully, you know, because I thought I was still connected all this time. So I don't know how much you guys have probably heard. I don't think you guys probably have heard a lot of anything. I may have to recap some of the things that I was saying before because I felt it was important. I'm in over here reading the Platinum Plan, and it may look like I was offline or something. But yeah, I've been trying to, and I thought I was still connected, but I connected to my Wi-Fi now. All right, shut up. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, wait, I'm back connected. Ooh, man. Yeah, I got disconnected. All right, so I'm about to finish this up. All right. So I'm about to finish this up. And yeah, because we talked a lot. At least I talked a lot. Talked about Big upping once again the young black people voting MAGA. We're winning, and I'm sure a lot of you have voted MAGA. Everyone else, don't let these low down Democrats shame you. Don't let them disrespect you and talk down to you, because we are right and they are wrong. Especially you young blacks, you are voting the party of our ancestors. The Democratic Party is not the party of our ancestors. They are the party of our enemies, of our ancestors' enemies, and still are our current enemy as well. This is the one that was trying to destroy us, this Democratic group. And like I said, I'm one of the few that will call this out for what it really is. So this is why I do what I do. So I apologize about the stream, and I was wondering why things look like it froze up, but I may have saved the stream. I appreciate the likes as well. Look like I gotten 4 likes. I appreciate that, guys, and things. So yeah, you guys came through for me. I appreciate that, and let us continue having great conversations. And I do this out of love. I don't do this out of hate. Because like I said, we have we still have a ways to go to do better, and I believe we can do better as black people. We can do better than what we are doing now. And now that we have voted for a man in office, and many of them don't think that Trump is not going to be able to deliver on his word or on his promises. This is how bad the negativity has begun in the so-called black community. Hopefully this should be better. There it goes. Says it's connected. All right. Yeah, it says I'm connected now. Let me just do one more check. Yep. Okay. So yeah. So like I said before, yeah, we vote for the party of our ancestors, which is the Republican Party. The Democratic Party is not the party of our ancestors. They've been the enemy of our ancestors, and they still are the enemy to our people today. They just learn how to tolerate us just enough for the vote. That's it. And they know that they're trying to change tactics right now. But like I said, we are going to stay with the winning team. The winning team. So I apologize for losing connection and things. I thought I was still connected though, but I'm on my Wi-Fi right now, so I went on and connected to that. So this is why I'm back up, man. So look like somebody popped in and popped out the room. That's cool. That's a good sign, though. Good sign. I don't know how long I was gone, but I may have to edit this before I upload it because I don't know how much of the footage was lost due to inactivity. I'm not really for sure. I got to go scroll back through there before I publish this. I'm gonna have to edit some things. But yeah, but I appreciate you guys though, man. I really do. I enjoy doing what I do as far as sharing information and stuff. But yeah, 1,000 RR, that was a very good question, man. Yeah, because I know what you're saying about Family Matters and Cosby Show, Martin Lawrence. Yeah, I watched all those shows, TV shows. But they really don't show no real strength with black men, though. The only one I can remember that does is James Evans off of Good Times. Everybody remember that father, James Elmos, before he passed away. Yeah, James Elmos was that dude. He was that guy, man. I miss James Elmos, man. I never had a chance to meet him in person. I miss James Elmos, man. Played on Roots. He played on a lot of stuff, man. James Elmos, man, he's a legend, powerhouse. So I miss that brother. But I thank him for the memories of some great movies that he played in and stuff like that. Um, Good times, definitely, man. I really miss that. Really miss him. But yeah, man. So other than that, yeah, just I'm gonna continuously do what I do and things. So yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this video because some of it got lost because I thought I was still connected. For those that are coming back on the stream, I do apologize about that. I had a little technical difficulty, but I was able to work my way around it and stuff like that. So yeah, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yep. So other than that, though, I think this is mainly it. I'm still over here waiting on a ride and things, man. A little slow right now. I mean, I picked up earlier though, but yeah, I'm still waiting right now. So that's why I felt the need of doing a live while I'm waiting for a ride, and things. But things are going to get better. We made the right choice. We made the right decision voting MAGA. We really did. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, we did the right thing. And you should feel good about doing the right thing too. We did the right thing. Black, white, and other, we did the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. We did the right thing. Did the right thing. When you bet on Trump, you always win. We did the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to salute all of you again. We did the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. We are winning. We did the right thing. We are winning. We are winning. We're in the process of these people are getting certified. You got certified already, but they're just going through the evaluation thing and stuff like that. So we're going to really have a real powerhouse team, and they're going to be cleaning up house, man. They know their days are numbered, man. These crooked politicians and this crooked FBI and CIA, every dog got his day, man. So this is why we're gonna see some things. We're gonna see some things. God bless Trump in America. You damn right about that. Yeah, my pack. Yeah, you right about that. God bless America and God bless Donald Trump. I'm proud to be an American. You know that song, boy. Lee Greenwood, I believe it is. Yeah, I got that song. I can't play it because I get a copy strike. But I'm gonna tell you though, my pack, if I was able to play that song, it would be all good. Boy, I love what you just typed right there. God bless America. You right about Donald Trump. I roll with Trump. Yeah, 100%. I'm 100% on board, man. I've been to the rallies. I got my MAGA hats. I got quite a few of them. I even got my dark MAGA hat. I'm all for the red, white, and blue. I'm all for the what else? American apple pie. I'm all for all that. I sure am. I sure am. Though, wait till you see my other lines, boy. I am very patriotic. I sure am. I love the American anthem. Ain't nobody messing with our American anthem. Oh, say, can you see? Ain't nobody messing with our American anthem. Nobody. We got the best in the Star Spangled Banner. Oh man. Oh man. Ain't nobody messing with us. Ain't nobody messing with the Star Spangled Banner. Ain't nobody, no nation is messing with it. We are the greatest nation on the planet Earth. It's America. USA all the way, baby. USA, USA, USA. I would bet on America right now with Trump at the helm. You darn right. I feel good about it. Trump is getting to clean house. You damn right about that. Trump is about to clean house. We got Pete Hegseth. We got Pam Bonnie in the house. We got Topsy Gabbard. Well, I love me some Topsy Gabbard. Yeah, boy, I can go on and name them right now. Boy, we are about to be that deal. We them boys. We the boys here in America. Everybody gonna learn. Boy, they're gonna find out today. I'm proud to be here in America. We are all Americans. And Trump is going to clean house. You right about that. You damn right. Who is the man that risks his neck out for all of man and woman too? Trump, you damn right. Yeah, yeah, Trump. I'm only talking about Donald Trump. Yep, Trump is the one. Trump is going to deliver us. That's why I said, boy, I'm 100% on board with Donald J. Trump. Donald John Trump. That's right. Trump. 1-800-Trump. Nobody speaks but Trump. Trump knows what he's doing, though. Trump is smart. He's going to get this economy back together. He's gonna get these. We're gonna have a lot of arrests and indictments. So let me tell you, my pack, we're gonna have a lot of arrests. It's gonna be a lot of indictments. A lot of people going to jail, though. They know it. Adam Schiff is afraid, boy. Chuck Schumer, they are cowering down. Look at it, cowards that they are, boy. Judgment Day is coming, boy. What you gonna do when the red, white, and blue flex on you? Never doubt number 47. Never doubt. I love that though too. Never doubt number 47. Never in doubt. I am never in doubt. Because when you bet on Trump, you always win, my friend. You always win. Donald J. Trump. I wish Trump could be the president from now on. Let me tell you though, ain't nobody bad like Trump. Nobody. Ain't nobody deliver us like Trump. Nobody. Who is the man? Trump, Donald, President Donald J. Trump. Let me tell you, I am MAGA for life, make America great again, and I don't care who don't like it. Donald J. Trump, that's right. Trump he's a colorless president. Trump cares about Americans first. Mass deportation. I'm looking forward to it, my pack. We're going to be rounding them up, getting them out the country. We're going to make America safe again. We're going to make America great again. We're going to have prosperity again. We're going to have the freedoms again. The FBI is going to be turned around. There ain't going to be a criminal organization spying on us American citizens. We're going to be able to deal with the CIA, the cartel. All that is going to shut down. Everybody going to pay homage to Trump. Everybody, look at Bill Gates going over there kissing the ring of Trump, kissing the toe of Trump, kissing his feet, washing his feet. That's what I'm saying. Who else that had to visit over there at Mar-a-Lago, John Zuckerberg, right? Yep. Who else had to go over there? They all going to have to visit and pay homage to Donald J. Trump. I'm just talking about Trump. That's all I'm saying. The House of Trump. That's right. Boy, I love going. Are you going to the inauguration, or are you gonna watch it on TV? I want to go. I'm gonna see, but I don't know. They say now, like I said, there's a level of a possible threat, but I'm not gonna put that out there like that. All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna bank on it being a safe venue. I haven't decided yet, but if I do go, I want to record it live. I want to talk to all my other MAGA family supporters and stuff like that. My MAGA family people. You my MAGA guys that's in this room that support me and support MAGA. You my MAGA supporters. Black, white. It don't matter if you're black or white. You still my MAGA. It don't matter if you're black or white. Yeah. Remember, be careful of big crowds. Yeah, I know 1000 RR. That's why I'm leery of that. That's why I don't want to deal with that. That's why I'm not going down to the auto show. We got the auto show here in Detroit right now, and I don't want to be dealing. And I usually go to the auto show and stuff, but after that incident that happened, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to stay away from that 1000 RR. You got a good point, my brother. Good point. But I'm gonna celebrate it. I'm gonna watch it on TV. I'm gonna still do it live. In fact, we could do it. Get myself some wings. If you guys were in my area, we'll all meet up, get some food. Sherry, Omega, John, we all sit down. 1000 RR, we'll all sit down and enjoy ourselves with some what's those wings? Wingstop. I like those lemon pepper. I like those lemon pepper wings. Those are my favorites. Yep, lemon pepper. Yep. So, what's going on in Maryland? That's where you're from, 1000 RR? Is that where you're from, Maryland? I got a cousin there in Maryland. Yeah, Baltimore, Maryland. Never actually been. I've been to DC. You know, been in New York so many times. Okay. Yep. Um, Tripack says, be safe. Just watch it on TV and enjoy your wings. LOL. I appreciate you. Yeah, subscribe to me and like me. Give me a like too. Give me a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate you. If you subscribe to the channel, though, don't be no stranger. Come back. Come back, though. You know what I'm saying? I love repeat people to come and visit me, you know? But yeah, you just a sub to the channel and a thumbs up. I appreciate that too. My pack, I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I lived in the eastern shore of Maryland. Baltimore is a deep blue. Yeah, I know. Um, okay, thank you. Yep. Yeah, Baltimore is, yeah, I know. That's deep blue over there. I mean, I'm in Detroit. It's deep blue. It's deep blue over here, too. Deep blue. Yep, deep blue. Just short, man. But I'm going to come back on later, man. I'm going to pick this passenger up and things. So, yeah, it's all good, though, man. I appreciate you guys. I really do, you know. All right. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see you guys on the next live. Peace.